James Knight. And after his presentation, we'll have Dr. Terrian Joseph, who will present a local perspective and give us some insight into the resources that are available in terms of the management of the condition. So first, I invite Dr. Knight.
Acknowledging the established protocol, I say good morning to all. What's better for depression than a bright orange-colored, skinny-fitting t-shirt this morning? But I won't let it depress me. And I hope it won't depress you. So let's talk. Now, why did the WHO, the World Health Organization, choose depression as its focus this year? The goal of the WHO is to make people, the public in general, aware of depression, the often dire consequences of depression, and the fact that it can actually be treated. The WHO has made it clear that depression affects all ages, affects all walks of life, and affects people in all countries. It causes mental anguish that impacts upon people's ability even to perform everyday functions. And sometimes it has devastating effects on relationships with family and friends, and sometimes even on a person's ability to earn a living. Nevertheless, WHO is focusing on three particular categories: adolescents and young adults, women of childbearing age, especially those who have delivered a child, and people over 60. Among the young adults and the adolescents, there is a high rate of suicide among those who suffer depression. Among the women of childbearing age, or more so the women who have delivered babies, we see what is called postpartum depression. And it can range from simply a woman who has recently delivered a child doing certain things that just don't seem very rational. Or it can be such a person endangering her own life or the lives of the persons around her. In the case of the persons over 60, not that I can speak for myself, but there are those who suffer from just the inability to accept the reality of growing old. There are people, especially if there's some level of disability that comes with that aging process, a chronic illness that is nagging, or even just dependency on others. I'm sure you've heard older persons say at times, I miss myself. That is, I never used to ask anybody to do this. I never used to have to ask anybody to do that. I used to do it for myself. And sometimes that, just that simple fact of dependency depresses elderly persons. Now, it is not just a matter of feeling sad. Some people think depression is just one of those moments of sadness that they have got over in the past and that they will get over again. But it's not just an amplified sadness. It runs much deeper than that. It is more than just feeling down. It's a serious illness caused by chemical changes in the brain. Research has shown that contributing factors to depression are sometimes genetic. That is, some people inherit a tendency to be depressive. You have changes in hormone levels. You have certain medical conditions, stress, grief, or just difficult situations. We should know a simple, quite a common case of persons who are able-minded and able-bodied and find themselves unable to find work for a prolonged period of time. You see often in those persons depression. There's an incessant feeling of sadness, of hopelessness, sometimes loneliness, And these are just some of the symptoms. In other instances, it affects people well, emotionally, physically, and they may lose appetite. Some may not sleep properly. They may feel worthless. They may isolate themselves. They might even find difficulty just getting out of bed. And persons around them who do not understand that may rebuke them, you know, may reprimand them and say, you're just lazy, around the place, worthless, why you don't get up and do something, and so forth, without recognizing that the condition of the person requires that they be tactful, be understanding, and compassionate. Now, it is not always obvious to friends and family that persons are depressed, because some people have warning signs. You may see weight loss because they're not eating properly. You may see changes in their general physical appearance. You may see agitation. They get irritable easily, or they may be just lethargic, just slouching around the place. And others may show that there's nothing wrong with them at all. Because some people are good at compartmentalizing. They can put that aside when they're out in the public. They look cheerful, they smile, everything seems normal. But when they go home, when they're alone, when they're in the dark, when they're trying to go to sleep, then everything sets in because there's no distraction. So if you suspect that there's someone close to you who is going through depression, it's okay to speak to them about it. Don't think that you're intruding, that you're being fast, that you're getting into their business. You must feel that it is something that you must do. You must talk to them. There's nothing wrong about speaking to them. There's nothing wrong. The best thing to do is to check in on them. You must not think that you're intruding in their private affairs. And this is very important, because the closest persons are the family and friends. And these are the people who are going to be with them in most of those moments when they would otherwise be alone, etc. So just act tactfully, carefully, respectfully. The greatest thing someone can do is talk to them, listening and letting them know that they have your support. It goes a long way. And so I encourage you, if you are feeling depressed for any reason today, long after this ceremony is over, let's talk. I thank you.